Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns, liquid air on and slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout. Get ready for the show.
What's up? Sorry I had that on loop. What's going on? This is Coach Marcus, Pro Fan Talk. Saying what's up. Welcome to Live at Lunch. You know how we do. You know the rules. We're going to get it in for a short period of time. I'm going to have you out of here. Got started a little bit later, but we're going to go for about a half hour. I'm going to get you out of here a little bit before 1 o'clock. That's plenty of time to finish your sandwich, wash your hands, and get back to it. So just wanted to touch on a couple of things. Was in some real good conversations on Facebook about the WNBA weekend. Had a good time watching Indiana and the Brazilian team. Enjoyed when Chicago played the Brazilian team. Now, the first things first is Brazil really isn't a good team. Got a lot of young players, what we would consider high school players. So what's up, bro, Gab? It would be like a lot of people I don't know what they were expecting from the Brazilian team. I didn't certainly think that they were that young, but I understand that. So did I enjoy the games? Absolutely. Yes, I enjoyed the games. Were they competitive? Hell no. And I understand the difference. This was a young team. The coach even said he's trying to get these kids experience. He wasn't trying to come over here to win or dominate or anything like that. You get them kids exposed to the best of the best, and you see which ones, the cream rises to the top. That's what he was looking at. But I'm looking at, all right, let me see who's on the court. What kind of lineups does Stephanie White have? How's Angel Reese looking now that her wrist is injured? All of that type of stuff. So I'm looking at everything, and I'm looking at it from a coach's perspective. I'm not looking for somebody to go off and drop 40 points. And even if they did, it's a preseason game. And it's a preseason game against inferior competition. So my expectations are tempered, but there are some things that I want to see. I do like what I saw from Angel Reese. I do like what I saw from Asia Wilson. I do like what I saw from Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. In my opinion, I think Sophie Cunningham stole the weekend. How she came out in that first game and set the tone and wasn't taking no shit and got up in somebody's face, and her and Kiki Iriafen kind of went nose to nose for a minute. Although I will admit that was a good hip toss by Kiki. It was a little extra, but that was a pretty damn good hip toss. But yeah, Sophie Cunningham just came out and she just set the tone. They're using that because she played for the Fever, so it's like now she sets the temperature for the Fever. You know what I mean? So that's good marketing. I ain't mad at them for that. But that was a fun game to watch, even though Caitlin Clark wasn't playing. Sophie Cunningham stole the show. Lexi Hull got her shots in. And as a Indiana fan, did not see this coming. I mean, I knew Sophie Cunningham was good, but the duo of her and Lexi Hull together as a defensive front, they're going to cause some problems for opponents. Because Lexi is like a hustle player, right? She goes for them rebounds. But the thing I liked about Lexi over the weekend was she didn't get a lot of shots, but the shots she got, she was making. That makes a difference. Sophie Cunningham even got into the act. She hit a couple threes, but she was hustle ball, getting on the floor for loose balls, making some good passes. Kelsey Mitchell didn't have a great game. The first one, the second game looked a lot better. So you just seeing things progress, and that's what you want to see in the preseason. I'm not looking for somebody to just beast on everybody. I know Brazil, it was 89-69. against Chicago, and the Fever more than doubled them. But I just want to see how everybody's moving around, how everybody's playing. Angel Reese with a double-double, 15 and 10. I want to see that. I'm not so worried about the competition wasn't good. I know that. I know what preseason means. You just trying to feel your way around the new players on the team, get a feel for everybody. You are trying to know your personnel. I thought it was interesting seeing Angel Reese making some passes. Wasn't used to seeing that last year. So she's looking at some ways to step up her game from away from the basket. Bravo. I want to see more of that. Yeah, Kristen. She did. She played well. Kia Nurse played well. I like Kia Nurse. 11 points. 11 points, 2 rebounds. She clocked some good minutes. You know what I mean? So I want to see the new players, and I want to see what they got and what they're going to be working with. That's all I care about in preseason. I'm not looking for somebody to, even with the Brazil and the Indiana game, you know, I mean, that wasn't even a game. Let's keep it a buck. That was the Indiana just trashed. But again, that was an inferior team. So I'm expecting Indiana to beast on them. I'm good with that. But I want to see, no, that wasn't a competitive game, but I was happy to see a couple of logo threes from Caitlin Clark. The only reason Caitlin Clark played as many minutes as she did is because they was in Iowa. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. Yes, it was fun to see. Absolutely, it was fun to see. But it was a preseason game, and you know we'll leave it at that. We will definitely leave it at that. So we're gonna see some more, and they're gonna get better and better. I like seeing DeWanna Bonner. DeWanna Bonner steps right in to where Tammy Fack Bentley was, because I was a fan of Tammy Fack Bentley. I didn't think they used her enough. I don't know what the situation was with her, was she hurt or whatever the situation was. I think DeWanna Bonner is better. She still moves around. She's tall. She's graceful. She can move a lot of. She can move a lot of ground. She can move at a distance with minimal effort because she got that long stride, and she can hit the three. Tammy couldn't shoot like DeWanna Bonner can. And I tell you what, the one thing that struck me, number one, was Sophie Cunningham. Number two, both Natasha Howard and Brianna or DeWanna Bonner do not look their age. They are not playing that age. Natasha Howard is in her 11th season. DeWanna Bonner is in her 17th. And they running around, getting balls, getting on the ground, getting dirty. And I was like, especially with Natasha Howard, I was not expecting that from her. And she does not look like she's been in the league for 11 years. I'm just going to say that right now. She is going to be the difference maker for Indiana. She is going to be the difference maker. Because I was like, oof, I'm liking what I'm seeing there. Then you got Sydney Colson. That'll be a good break when Caitlin Clark is off the court, because the way he was going last year, when Caitlin Clark came off, Erica Wheeler went in, and a lot of times, that was not good. Now you got Sydney Colson. She got the behind the back passes. She got some handles, and she can still spot up and hit a three in your face. So Indiana's got weapons, and again, not to mention Sophie Cunningham playing defense, Lexi Hall playing defense, and Lexi Hall making her shots. That's what you want to see. But I'm digging everybody. I like everything I saw over the weekend. That was a win for the W. That was definitely a win for the W. So I think I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see what scores. I'm trying to see what Vegas did. Sunday, was that Saturday? Mystics. Sunday. I thought Vegas played. I could be wrong. I thought Vegas already played a game, but maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe I am mistaken. If I'm anybody in the chat, did Vegas already play a game? I'm looking for the stats, but I don't see anything. I'm looking at the third. That was Mystics and the Fever. That was a Sophie Cunningham game. And then yesterday, it was just Brazil and the Fever and Connecticut and the Storm. So, yeah. Um, let's see what the Storm did. Yeah, bro, yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But again, I like to tell people I have cautious enthusiasm. Got to be very tempered when you're going into preseason, because this is where a good team makes a lot of mistakes in preseason, because this is where you're supposed to make them, because you're experimenting with stuff. So I don't expect it to always look good. I don't expect it to look clean and polished. They working on stuff. They working on stuff. Jackie Young, yep. Chelsea Gray, the point guard, she's looking. I'm really excited to see her, because I didn't see her all last year. And based on what I saw that she did in Unrivaled, and I was like, okay, that's what everybody was talking about. Because my introduction to Chelsea Gray was the um, her being on the Olympic team, and I was like, I ain't seen this woman play all year. I had to go back and look at some of her highlights from 2022 and 23, and I was like, oh, now I get it. Now I get it. But her coming back, getting healthy, and what she did in Unrivaled, I was like, I'm a fan. I want to see more of that. I want to see more of that. And I still say, and this is just my opinion, and y'all know I'm a Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark fan. I'm an Indiana Fever fan. However, comma, Asia Wilson is still the best player in the WNBA. Full stop. Full stop. Fee Collier is, I don't even, let me see. Hold on. Fee Collier is about that far behind her, about a millimeter behind her. They still the two best players in the W right now. Full stop. I gotta say that the Liberty have to have the best team because they just won the title. Now, having said that, I haven't seen Sabrina play this year. I haven't seen Brianna play this year. I would imagine, and I predicted this, and this is my take, that a lot of the women that played in Unrivaled might have a little bit of fatigue factor in the beginning. And then they're gonna get their legs, and then it'll get better as the season goes on. I'm looking at probably games between 8 and 12. Things gonna even out, and all of the women that did play in Unrivaled, they're gonna get their legs back, and it'll be all good. So, I'm real interested to see how Stewie looks when she comes back, because let's keep it a buck. They won the title, but they stumbled through that. They stumbled through that, and there were plenty of opportunities for Minnesota to take that title last year, and they just could not do it. Couldn't do it. Sabrina Ionescu, who's one of my favorite players in the league, she was absolutely horrible in the finals last year. She hit that one shot, and that was pretty much it. She couldn't hit a mirror in the bathroom, but they found a way to win. It doesn't say ugly win; it says win. It doesn't say it doesn't say WNBA champions, but they won ugly. No parenthesis. They won. They're the title holders. So you trying to take what they got. So they the team to beat. So I look at them as the best team in the league. I'm very interested in Seattle Storm's next game, because I really, 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 really want to see Dominique Malonga play. And here's my thing with Dominique Malonga. I know this is selfish. Dominique Malonga and Kiki Iriafe. If I don't see one of them two girls dunk this year in a game, I'm going to be pissed. I am going to be pissed. I want to see one of Dominique or Kiki throw it down. I didn't see enough tape of them doing it. I think it's going to come more on Dominique, because she's done it in games before when she was playing in France and overseas. But I was all hyped last year to watch Kiki at USC, and I saw some of her training tapes where she was dunking and coming down the lane and yanking it and catching the passes on the block and just going up and yanking it. I was like, oh, this is going to be good. This is what they need. You don't need to see it every damn game, but you just need to get teased by it so it'll make you tune in. And we never saw it. I know Ashlyn Watkins can dunk from South Carolina. Then she got into the trouble. Then she tore her knee. So it's like, oh, somebody got to do it. And then, of course, the only person that dunked was Brittany Griner in the Unrivaled game. Somebody got to do it in the league this year. That's a match in the powder keg. And again, it don't have to be all the time. I just want to see it. I just want to see the excitement. Just like last night when I was watching the Indiana game and Caitlin Clark hit that three from the damn logo. You knew she was going to shoot one. She was in Iowa. But she dropped two of them. And I was like, damn, everything is going their way. So it was just a good weekend. The game wasn't competitive, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed what I saw. I saw some hustle. I saw some cool passes, some behind the backs. I saw some half-court passes. Angel Reese had a pass from the top of the key. I was like, okay, Angel, I see you. So to me, and again, I'm a second-year fan. This is the second year I've been invested. I've watched the W a little bit, just a little bit before. But last year was the first year I was invested. Watched as many games as I could, spent money on the WNBA network, bought merch, the whole thing. To me, that's what invested means. 3 years ago, I couldn't name you 5 players. Now I can rattle off players from almost every team. So I'm invested, and I want to see it go to the next level. And they got the opportunity. And this weekend was a great weekend. Everybody played well. All the big names played well. Sophie Cunningham coming with Stephanie White. That was a big deal. Sophie made a great first impression. You knew Asia Wilson was going to do Asia Wilson things. Angel Reese, queen of the double-double. What does she do? Has a double-double in the first preseason game. That's what everybody wants to see. And then you're going to sprinkle all the new players in there. So everybody's level gets raised up. And I said this before, you understand the growth that the league is having, because last year they peaked with Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese having social media on lock. They peaked. But when you come down, is that floor higher than it used to be? Is that floor higher than it used to be previous years? And I think yes. So the peak is done and it comes down. But the bottom of that come down is a lot higher than what it was in previous years. So the league as a whole is trending in the right direction. So, Mike, I want to see it, bro. I want to see. I've never seen Timpson dunk. I'm going to have to look that up. I want to see it. I want to see it, dude. Vegas did play someone. I'm just not sure who they play. It's funny, man. I was in a chat and they were saying Asia had like 19 points, but I can't find nothing on ESPN. They play on Tuesday. They play Phoenix. They go to or Phoenix comes to Las Vegas on Tuesday. LA plays Golden State. I'm really interested in to see that game. I want to see what Golden State has. And Minnesota plays Chicago. That's going to be a good game because I'm telling you right now, Tuesday, Minnesota at Chicago. They're going to already try to bring up the Fee and Angel rivalry that started in Unrivaled. So they're going to try to bring that up a lot. But I think Minnesota's got the better team. Although with Minnesota specifically, I need to see Alyssa Peely on the court. Alyssa Peely got wasted. She got splinters on the bench last year. I was pissed. I want to see that girl on the court. So Vegas played Dallas and Page. Okay. What day did they play? What day did they play? Man, ESPN be tripping. Like, you can't find. They played Friday. Friday was what? The 2nd? Let me see. Friday, May 2nd. Okay, there we go. Aces, Wings. There we go. Okay, thank you. Man, it's like pulling teeth trying to get information from them. Let's see. Nalissa Smith had 8 points, 3 rebounds. Tierra McGowan, 3 points. Paige Beckers had 10. Quality game. That's right. That's right. That's right. Because I saw some people saying, you know, these content creators, which I consider myself one of them. But I'm looking at the thumbnails, and it's like Paige Beckers has a subpar introduction, and like she just had 10 points. I'm like, what the hell did y'all expect the girl to do? Everybody ain't gonna come on the court their first game and drop 30 in a preseason game. It ain't gonna happen. She played well enough. She played 23 minutes, 10 points. She was 2 for 3 from deep, 4 for 7 from the floor. That's respectable. 4 rebounds, an assist, only 1 turnover. Got caught with 3 fouls. That's a respectable first game, your first game in the league. What's the problem? I think some people just have unrealistic expectations. And I think some of those expectations, just because they want to say something, they want to bring up something negative. It's like, man, shut up, watch the game and enjoy it. Damn. Yeah, that's a respectable first time on the court, in my opinion. What's the problem? Maddie Segrist had 11 points. I'm not even sure who that is. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's too many names. Isaiah James had a good game. I did see some of her plays. I like Isaiah James. JJ Quinley, 16 points. That's a good debut. So Las Vegas, Dallas looked good. Dallas looked good. Arike only had 5 points, but come on, that's Arike. She gonna step on the court and do her stuff. Dejanay had 6 points, 5 rebounds. Dejanay's a defensive specialist. I'm not looking for her to drop 20 points. I look at Dejanay like Sophie. You're not expecting Sophie to take over a game offensively. Defense is her specialty. Question is, what are the expectations for Paige with the way Sonia Citron looked good? I mean, see, that's hard, and that's why. And Brogad, I've probably said this before. I do the same thing with football. I'm not forming any opinions until I've seen at least in football. My rule is 4 games, week 4. By week 4, you can start formulating opinions based on what kind of team you think you have, because you've seen 3 games. And then after that 4th week, you got 4 games in. That's a quarter of the season. You should know what kind of team you got. Can they run the ball? Can they throw the ball? Blah, blah, blah. Same thing with basketball. Basketball, give me at least 10 games. Baseball, give me at least 25 games. They play 162. With the W, they play 40 games. So give me at least 8 to 10 games. Then I can see what I'm working with. Because the first 5, 6 games, coach is still going to be playing with personnel, and for whatever reason, the WNBA as a league got bit by the injury bug. Good grief. That was crazy last week. All the injuries. Georgia Amore, Anissa. Wow. But it'll work itself out and it'll play itself out. So the preseason, I just give them at least, they only play 5 preseason games. So let's give them until, game number 6 in the regular season. Then you can start formulating opinions, because there's too many things and people are still trying to find each other out and everything. Because it's one thing, and everybody says it in every sport. Everybody says the same thing in every sport. And I'm saying this just from my experience in the NFL and what I see in NBA, WNBA, hockey, baseball, doesn't matter. Any professional level sport. Everybody says the same thing in preseason. We look pretty good. We're working hard in practice. They give you those coach speak answers. But nothing comes to fruition until you play somebody in a different color jersey. That's the only thing that matters. That's why I don't know if relating this to my realm in the NFL. That's why you notice now not too many preseason games in the NFL. They pulling back on that. Number one, they're trying to make an 18th game, but more importantly, all of these teams, they have the workouts with other teams. Last year, the Eagles flew to Miami and they spent the week in Miami. I think that was 2 years ago, whatever. But we used to do that when I played back in the 90s. But now you're going up against somebody else. You're not going against your own team. because you know what your own team does. You know their tells, you know their idiosyncrasies, you know the stuff that they're good at and not good at. When you walk up against somebody else, another team, you have no idea what's coming. And that's how you figure out who's who and what's what. You got to play somebody else. So again, I'm not going to take too much stock into this game against Brazil from Chicago or Indiana. Brazil is young and they are uncompetitive. But I'm glad I got to see Caitlin Clark hit some threes. I'm glad I got to see Angel Reese get the double-double. I'm glad I got to see Kia Nurse, shake and bake a little bit and do her thing. Sonia Citron do her thing. That's what now you build on that. That ain't nothing but a confidence build. So we can see more of it going in. I'm going to say it right now, the rookie of the year, race between Paige, Citron, and Malanga, bar injury. In my opinion, if Malanga does what she was doing in France, it ain't even going to be close. The only way Malanga, in my opinion, doesn't take this title is if Paige just absolutely goes off. And I don't see that happening because you got Enrique sitting right there. Enrique is still Enrique. So that's going to take some shots away from Paige. Malanga is 6'7". Get her the ball. Stop playing. Malanga, it's possible, and I know this is a reach. Don't cut my head off. I know this is a reach. But with Malanga's size and athletic ability, it is possible, again, don't cut my head off, it is possible for her to have a Candace Parker type impact. But they have to give her the ball. I'm not saying it'll happen. I'm just saying it's possible. All right? Don't cut my head off. Don't come with the swords. All right? Yeah, I agree with you, Mike. She's not a heavy scorer, but she can score. But my thing is, even if she was a heavy scorer, you're not just going to take away Enrique Agumbawale. Paige Becker is in the same exact situation like Caitlin Clark was last year. Everybody had those expectations for Caitlin Clark just to come in and shoot the lights out, forgetting that one of the best shooters in the league, Kelsey Mitchell, was sitting right there. You think she's just going to go away? All them records you broke at Iowa, whose record did you think you broke? It was hers. It was Kelsey Mitchell's. Indiana had two of the best shooters in NCAA history on the same team. And all of a sudden you think Kelsey Mitchell just forgot how to shoot? Hell to the no. And as a matter of fact, if you watched the season last year, Kelsey Mitchell bailed Indiana out of a lot of stuff because there were plenty of games where Caitlin Clark couldn't hit a mirror in the bathroom. So she started to penetrate, dish the ball out, and Kelsey Mitchell was draining those shots. And she bailed the team out a few times last season. Matter of fact, Caitlin Clark wasn't even the best shooter on the team. Kelsey was. Kelsey shot, I believe, 36.7%. I believe. When Caitlin Clark was only at 32 from three. I think. I got to check those numbers. But you understand what I'm saying. But it's preseason. It's preseason. You don't think so? You don't think she'll get? I don't know, man. I think it would be a crime to not use this girl. I don't. If they do that, I'm not arguing with you. But if they do that, then the coach is stupid. The coach is stupid. When you got somebody like that, you got to use them. Give them the ball. Stop playing. Put Skylar Diggins and all of them. They're gonna have to go through their stuff. Get that girl the ball. If y'all want to win games, get that girl the ball. Period. And let her do what she does best. This is the same thing that I argue because this happens in football a lot, where a coach will come in or a phenomenal player will go to a team. Insert player, insert team. Doesn't matter. But a phenomenal player will go to a team, and the coach of that team wants to make him or her fit their system. And that is not a good idea when you're talking about professional athletes. If that player is an elite level player and they do one or two things so much better than everybody else, you make sure you put her in that situation where they can do that one thing better than anybody else. If Dominique Malonga plays at the post, you get the ball up high and she turns around and hits a 3-foot jumper. Do that all year until somebody proves that they can stop it. And that's going to be the key, because you already know the girl can play. I saw what she can do overseas. I don't know what everybody else is looking at. Throw the ball up super high, because ain't nobody going to out jump her. And because if they try to go in and out, try to get in with her, they're going to collapse on her as far as defense, and she's going to pass it out. Somebody on the outside got to hit them shots. So, but don't waste her trying to run a scheme or offense. Find out what this girl does best, and damn it, do it. It is not rocket science. So, but we'll see. That's why they play the game. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. I saw Seattle put out a video when she got off the plane and got to the facility. She walked around the locker room, and they put that on their social media. So I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm just glad I'm seeing her in the building. We still haven't seen the draft pick from Australia from last year that Atlanta got. Atlanta drafted the girl. She was at the draft in the first round. Nardia. I ain't seen hiding her hair, that girl, since the draft. I don't know what happened to her. And I went back and looked at some of her tape. I was like, okay, she pretty damn good. Okay, let's see what's gonna happen. I ain't seen hiding her hair. And it's maybe that's normal for the W, but I'm used to, and again, this is my ignorance and youth in the WNBA. I'm used to seeing when you are drafted in the first round, you are going to play for the team that drafted you. And then Daisha Fair happened. And I was like, wait a minute, they cut her? You drafted her in the first round and you cut her? Not used to that. In the NFL, the first pick, you going to last at least 3-4 years. They're going to see what they got in you. So, Zhang Ziyu, I don't know who that is. I'd look that up. That remains to be seen. We'll see what they do with them. It ain't who you got, it's what you do with them. So, but I'm saying all that to say, the fact that we're even having this conversation now, to me, the WNBA is trending in the right direction. Everybody is excited. Everybody's excited to see Paige, to see Angel, obviously to see Caitlin Clark, to see the rookies, Malonga, Sonia Citron. Then you had somebody posted a video with Hannah Hidalgo and Olivia Miles talking, and they were trying to were they really having an argument? What? It was hard to tell. And they said it was tense, and I was like, well, they did kind of dap up, and I don't know. I have never talked to Hannah Hidalgo, so I don't know if it was a tense or a confrontational conversation. I didn't see it like that. So, but I could be wrong. Oh, Lord have mercy, Mike. 7'3", and she's 16. Yo, why did I immediately think of that scene in with Jackie Chan and old boy Chris Tucker when the big tall Chinese dude came out? He was like, I want to talk to you. He's like, I am you. So that's what I thought of with 7'3", huh? All right, can she move? I'm gonna have to look her up, bro. What's up, Ocean Stack? Absolutely, but the difference is not shocking. But CC is the damn needle. Watching the Indiana team is exciting to watch. It's must-see TV. Listen, I'm realistic about Caitlin. I know what the deal is. I grew up. I'm a child of the 70s, man. So I was 8 years old when Magic and Bird happened. 78. So I watched and grew up through the beginning, the catalyst of SportsCenter. Michael Jordan was the catalyst for SportsCenter. ESPN, I believe, started in 1978. Sports Center, I believe, started in 82. Jordan came out in 84. But every show of Sports Center was Jordan highlights and dunks. So that was the beginning of the ESPN climb to the top. But yeah, I know people just get, I don't know, they get bent out of shape. And that's why I said at the beginning, Asia Wilson is still the best player in the league. That doesn't mean she's the most popular. And I'll debate that with anybody. You can like Asia Wilson. I like Asia Wilson. Matter of fact, Asia Wilson, and I've said this before, I give Asia Wilson all the credit in the world because before Caitlin Clark happened, before she happened at Iowa and everybody started watching her last 2 years, Asia Wilson was moving the needle in Las Vegas. Las Vegas was the first team to sell out their season tickets before the season started. Las Vegas was doing that because of Asia Wilson. So I got to give Asia her flowers for that. But nobody could have predicted, or nobody can stop the onslaught of visibility that came with Caitlin Clark. Nobody saw that coming for whatever reason. And I say it like this all the time. Why did Caitlin Clark have the recipe, and what is that recipe? I don't know, but she got it, and people were watching. So it is what it is. But all right, man, it's 12:59. Y'all know the rules, man. We got to get up out of here, get y'all back to work. I got to get back to work. So it's all good. What's up, Brooklyn? What's up, Brooklyn? Came in a little late, but it's all good. We about to wrap up, man. I'll try to get these in when I can if I'm not busy. Because a lot of times, usually I'll take my lunch at like 12:30 or something like that. So, but if I can, I can get on at like take off at like 12. I get started at like 12:15 and get done at like 12:55. So it's 1 o'clock. We're gonna get out of here. Go wash your hands, finish your sandwich, and get back to work. And I will holler at you guys later on tonight. And we're gonna do this again. Peace out. Y'all be safe. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Brooklyn, Brogad, Michael, Ocean Steck, all y'all, man. Make sure you're subscribed, become part of the team. Bob Paranoiac. I love that name, dude, because I can't even say it. Everybody, Eric Robertson, everybody in the chat, man. I appreciate y'all. And we're gonna keep this thing growing. Storm UK, I see you in there. I see you in there. But again, I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe, and we're gonna do this again. And I want to see everybody on the team. All right. Y'all have a good day. Enjoy your week, and we'll be back with you. Peace.